Hello? I'm a man who's been diligently working at my job. I'm about to share a secret that nobody knows. I've crossed a line with my maternal aunt. My parents divorced when I was in elementary school. My dad didn't pay child support, so my mom had to work from dawn. She boiled eggs and made kimbap, packing them in styrofoam boxes to sell in neighborhoods with lots of offices. Office workers who skipped breakfast bought a lot of my mom's kimbap and warm, for example. My mom woke up early to prepare the ingredients, sold kimbap, and then did side jobs. Working so much at a young age took a toll on her arms, and later, she learned sales to meet people and work. She was determined to raise me well on her own. So I planned to find a job right after high school to help make money. Actually, my parents divorced because of my dad's debts. What made me angrier was that my dad had incurred debts in my mom's name, so she had to work nonstop. We lived near my uncle's house, my mom's brother. When my mom had to work from dawn till late or go down to the provinces for a few days, she would let my uncle know in advance. She'd ask him to look after me then. My aunt was not only beautiful, but had a heart as soft as silk. When I went to my uncle's house with a hungry look, she would immediately prepare delicious food for me. Honestly, she cooked better than my mom. She made a variety of dishes too. As a kid, I knew I preferred the meals my aunt made, and secretly looked forward to the days my mom would tell me to eat at my uncle's. Even when I entered university, my mom was still busy working. Thankfully, my uncle paid my first tuition fee. In return, I studied hard and prepared for certifications. My uncle was a businessman, very busy with frequent trips abroad. I have a cousin who went abroad for a language course in the upper grades of elementary school, graduated from a university abroad, married someone he met there, and is living there. My aunt was very sad she couldn't see her only son often. I think that's why she took extra care of me. In fact, going to college was also because of my aunt. I wanted to quickly find a job and solve the debt problem. Seeing my mom not getting enough sleep and meeting clients to pay off the debt. But my aunt insisted that college was essential. It was necessary for landing a job at a good company. So she encouraged me to hang in there a bit longer. Actually, I've always been good at studying. I declared that I wouldn't go to college and would work to pay off my mom's debts. My aunt told me that wasn't right. The duty of a student is to study hard, and she encouraged me to persevere in my studies. During my high school years, my aunt, who's my mother's sister, was a real lifeline. Not only did she brew herbal tonics for me, but she also gave me spending money to alleviate stress. My mom always expressed her gratitude towards my aunt, saying we owed her a great debt for her kindness. When I got accepted into college, I rushed to share the news with her. She held my hands and wept, saying how proud she was that I got into a good university, despite the challenges of my parents' divorce at a young age. I hugged her, attributing my success to her support. During the holidays, I attended a vocational school to earn certificates. My aunt generously covered the expensive tuition fees and often prepared nutritious meals. Worrying that I was studying too hard without proper rest, I promised to repay her kindness by landing a good job and earning a decent salary. With a warm smile, she joked, "Make sure you do. I'll note it down in my ledger," as she patted my back. After obtaining my certification, I started to enjoy my free time. With the allowance my mother gave me, I went out, drinking with friends, and even tried flirting with a classmate I liked, while my peers postponed their certification exams in favor of hanging out. I had already passed mine, earning me the label of the tough one in our group. At family gatherings at my uncle's house, my aunt always took special care of me, to the extent that others might mistake her for my mother. The rest of the family recognized her efforts in supporting her nephew through the divorce and encouraging his studies. Meanwhile, my mother managed to pay off some of my father's debts and continued to work hard in sales, encountering various challenges, including those who tempted her into multi-level marketing schemes. She leaned heavily on my aunt, treating her more like a sister, and shared her professional and personal struggles with her. One time, while my uncle was away on a business trip to Europe for 2 weeks, my aunt went out, drinking with an old friend, and decided to visit us on a whim, missing my company. It was the first time I saw her drunk, although she's not a heavy drinker. She enjoys the social aspect of it. She was thrilled to have caught up with friends after so long, and didn't want to return to an empty house, so she came to ours. I welcomed her and suggested she stay the night. She could barely keep her eyes open and fell asleep as soon as she hit the bed. She was wearing a suit, which seemed uncomfortable, so I slightly unzipped it to help her rest more comfortably. That night, I was alone at home since my mom was at a workshop. My aunt has this way of sleeping so peacefully, it's beautiful. I was quietly closing the door to leave when she murmured, "Don't go, Ethan." I thought she was deep in sleep, but she wasn't. With her eyes still closed, she whispered, "I want you here with me. Come." So I lay down beside her. "Do whatever you want, Ethan," she said. That night I grew up. My aunt expressed her delight in soft, contented sounds. It was a side of her I'd never seen before. She made herself comfortable, and we stayed together until dawn. Come morning, she was craving burgers and pulled me along to get some. "Let's not fuss, just get cleaned up and go have breakfast," she suggested. And we ended up at her place. She joked, "Now that I'm Ethan's girlfriend, I guess I'll call you honey when we're alone." It was surprising to hear such words from her, always so serious and refined. That day, we grabbed some simple burgers in the neighborhood and walked home hand in hand. My mom called to say she'd be staying another day out because the weather was so nice. I spent another night with my aunt. She revealed that she hadn't been close to my uncle after having their son. He was always busy, more like a lodger who only came home to sleep. She felt too guilty to express her loneliness to her husband, busy with work and clients, so she kept it to herself. While her friends boasted about boyfriends as they aged, she lacked both the courage and the desire. But seeing me grow up, she started to see me as a man. A bit of alcohol gave her the courage she needed, and for the first time, she felt something special, different from what she'd felt with my uncle, and she smiled. After graduating and landing a job at a reputable company, I visited her with my first paycheck, offering her half. "Why are you giving me money? I only did what an aunt should do. Put it away," she said. I replied, "Thanks to you, I got my certification and scored higher than others at work. I even get a bonus for my certification, so my salary is higher. I'll take even better care of you." "Let's skip the mushy talk and get to the point," she said, taking my hand. She's truly full of surprises. "Did you know she's got a new girlfriend now?" "Even so, my aunt always waits for me." "Ethan, you can come over whenever you want," she says. Her honesty is just so endearing.